Alright, give me a sec. I'm gonna grab a couple of things. So, I just got home not too long ago from the military. Um, so, I earned some money doing that. It didn't work out. They discharged me, so it's whatever. Honestly, no hard feelings in reality. So, but hey, I'm back, and I've got some studio updates. I have over here. Oh crap! I have a falling iPad. There we go. Right there. After I open the case, I have a new guitar stand, and you may notice a new guitar. This case for it. Get to that soon enough. I have a new amp, and over behind me, behind me, I have a new drum kit. Roland TD11 KV. Beautiful drum kit. Love it. I love it to death. And you're probably sitting there saying, "Source of the devil." You went with a with an electronic drum kit. Why? Simple answer is because I was tired of what seemed like an endless fight for me to be able to use my drum kit. So let me actually get to doing more than just sitting here and talking. I'm actually going to be doing a restring and cleanup on my Les Paul. It has been about 3 months. Yea, though I have been away. All the oils and whatnot from my skin that are on said guitar. There's that. Not so great for the strings. So I got some. I've got my cleaning kit here. Got some rags, paper towels. Towels are back there. I got to get them. But also got a trash can beside me because if you have ever cleaned a guitar, you know some of the struggles that it entails. So, if you have any questions about the military, about what happened, feel free to ask. So, yeah, feel free to ask. Dirty guitar. Very dirty guitar. So, I'm going to clean it. Needs it. It's a dirty guitar. Very dirty guitar. Poppy Streaks. Massive gent. No, I'm kidding. So, oh heck. There's that. Yeah, it's about time. So what else is there to talk about other than the fact that the weather here in Kansas is crappy? It's Kansas for you. So, I knew coming out of basic that I was going to get a new guitar. I knew I was going to upgrade my amp at some point. I knew that was getting ready to happen. So, ah, crap. Wish I could stop sneezing. I also want to know what kind of content you guys would like to see. Whether you guys would like to see me do some gaming, more music stuff. Some of you guys follow me on social media, on Instagram, Facebook. Those that I have as friends on Facebook, like I actually have friends apparently. That's a joke. I know I have friends. Those that follow me on Facebook, you may know that I am now betrothed, engaged, what have you. So what does that mean? It just means that I'm getting closer to getting married. What does that mean for the channel? That you may be seeing more of my future wife and I on the channel. Or more of my fiance and my future wife on the channel, really. That's about all that really means. At the moment, it's going to be a while before the wedding. Just because she's still in college. Out of respect for her aunt's wishes, out of the respect for our financial situations, both of us combined. So yeah. So, again, that's really all that means, is that you're just going to see more of my future wife, my fiance, on the channel, most likely, now that I'm finally getting some time to get back to YouTube. I have been gone for a while, and I am finally getting back, but honestly, I want to know more of like what you guys want to see, and yeah, and we'll talk about some of the things that I want to do with this channel. What I would like to do to grow, I would like to figure out a way to grow it. You know, get more subscribers, get more people watching and learning. I'm hoping to be able to get to doing some tutorials, maybe, of some worship pieces or something like that. As you guys know, I play for a church. So oh crap. Well, that happens. And what's probably one of the biggest lessons through basic training that I had to learn was the fact that they have those standards so high, knowing that we're not always going to meet them. What did I learn? Well, I learned how to kick butt in hand-to-hand combat. That's one of the major things I learned. Oh, sure. It just lifts off like that. Okay. I gotta be really careful. It's my first time ever taking that off. I'm gonna put that right back on. That may not have scared the crap out of me. So, she's already got some battle scars on her. Which is alright. It's alright, it's alright. You know, I bought her to be played, not to hang on a wall and gather dust. But other than that, everything is really more or less fine. I did clean my hands before starting this process, so let me make that known. What am I doing next? Cleaning the fretboard. So, um, now I've got some cream of carnauba that I'm going to put on the body here. But, yeah. What do you guys want to know? I'm here to answer questions. Because after I clean this, before I restring it whilst everything is curing, um, there'll be a separate video about uh, another guitar that I've got that I will share with you guys here shortly. Which you guys are going to be delighted to see. There's one thing you guys do not know about me is that, well, some of you, if you go to my church or have seen me in person, one of the things you guys don't know about me for the most part is that I'm actually a rather big fan of the band U2, and in particular, the guitar tones. Getting into some sketchy territory there talking about that. Why do I say you're getting into some sketchy territory talking about that? Is because I have always wanted to know the inner details about guitar tones. You know, what delays does he use? What this, that, and the other. And when Premier Guitar put out a video talking about his guitar tones, I was just enamored by it. I'll just be straight up with you. I was enamored because I've been listening to this guitarist. I always thought his tones were pretty freaking good. And, yeah. The first time I ever used this cream of carnauba, which was when I first found out about it, first learned what it was. It's really more or less, it's a polish. It's a guitar polish, really, is what it is. I was fixing up my then girlfriend, now fiance. I was fixing up a guitar that I had bought used. It's kind of badly damaged, and I was fixing it up for her, as she was graduating from high school. Um, and the reasoning why is because I started playing guitar before I met her, for the most part. And there you go. There's the body. Now to pretty much the same thing for the frets. So just put a small amount. This actually smells really good. Wax on, wax off, people. That's pretty much what's going on right now. Ooh, so good. So I'm gonna let all this kind of cure and stuff. All the polish and the fretboard conditioner, I'm gonna let that kind of sit and cure into the fretboard, into the body. I'm going to talk to you guys about some of the studio updates. One of the new things that I've got now is an Xbox 360 that I got used off of my brother. And a TV, again, I got from him. I also got like new amp. I've got some other new equipment, new drum kit, 11 kV. I finally went fully electronic because it helps with volume. But the new amp, it is a tube amp, so heads up, it might get loud. sorry if you hear a cat in the background. No one's hurting the cat. Just, yeah, it's a weird situation. Um, so yeah, I got a new guitar, a Squire Strat. I honestly don't know which line this is from. I have a feeling it could be from possibly the Classic Vibe. Just by the way it feels a lot better than the Bullet Strats or the even cheaper than that, just the regular Strats. But as all I know is that it feels great, it plays great. Um, and it evidently hadn't been in there long when I bought it, because I had to wait about a week to be able to pull it out and bring it home. So either the person that owned it before I bought it took very good care of it, or it is one of the higher quality Strats that Squire has to offer, because it is beautiful. It feels great. It plays great, and the strings are actually relatively. Um, Still rocking the same pedals, just added a volume pedal, so all the volume swells you heard. That's how I was able to do that without using my hands, except for on the guitar to play the chords. The new amp that I got is a Vox AC10. Beautiful amp. I wound up getting the limited edition one, not on purpose. I didn't intend to, but oh well. Still got it. And honestly, wasn't much more to get the limited edition than the regular AC10. So it's the hand that I was dealt. So So yeah, we got a person in the stream. What's up? Uh, Shoot, it's been a while. It's been a while since I've been on YouTube. Oh, it's my fiance. Is it? No, I don't know. Someone named Princess Trina. I know hers is Princess Trina 99, so. Oh, it is my fiance. Ah! Well, crap. That happens. Sorry, babe. I'm used to seeing the Princess Trina 99, not just the Princess Space Trina, so. By the way, big shout out to those who helped support me through everything that happened with the military. It was a very stressful time. Very interesting time. Very stressful, very interesting, and very kind of depressing. Kind of a depressing time. Also, if you get a chance, please do go and subscribe to, if you really like a lot of like Minecraft gaming and stuff like that, and even some cheesy sketches. Go check out Princess Trina's channel. She's a wonderful person, speaking in many ways, as she is my future wife. I honestly don't know if she broke the news on her channel. I haven't been paying that close attention to it, which is crazy for me to say, considering I'm on the stream she's in the stream right now. I've been paying as close attention as I should be, but again, I'm just now completely getting back to YouTube, and it's going to be kind of it's going to be a weird situation for a while, as I'm also hopefully going to have a job here soon, but I'm also going to be this guitar is actually going to be somewhat of a project guitar too, because believe it or not, I bought this guitar right here. I bought it for $99 used. $99. And you're probably sitting there like, well, why'd you go with black as a worship guitarist? Why'd you go with black? Why didn't you spend a little extra money and get a higher quality guitar? And it's because I have my Epiphone Les Paul Traditional Pro 2 that we're getting ready to put strings back onto. And it's definitely one of my higher quality guitars. Yeah, before taxes, it was about this plus the case was like $198.89 or something like that. I don't completely remember the actual price, but it was under $200, which is actually a pretty banging deal if you ask me. If you can walk out of a guitar store with a guitar of this quality, which, Squier, Fender, Epiphone, Gibson, all four brands are Squier and Epiphone are owned by Squier's owned by Fender, Epiphone's owned by Gibson. Very good quality instruments for the most part. They have their flukes here and there every now and then, but I honestly think that my fiance, and she can probably speak to this, was expecting me to spend $500 or $600 on a guitar, for the guitar alone, and I knew it was going to be about $100 for the case. But lucky me, I caught it while the cases were on sale, or the particular case that I got while it was on sale at Guitar Center. And I'm not showing you the case because it's nothing special. It's just Roadrunner. I guess they call it a universal case. So, but yeah, Kat, if you can speak some truth to that. You were expecting me to spend a heck of a lot more on the guitar than what I did, than what I wound up spending. Please do. But this is going to be a well, and this is where things are weird with guitars. Real quick, I'm gonna finish the thought that I had before. Maybe if I can remember. But no, the point behind what I'm going to do with this guitar is that I'm going to wind up. The first video that I'm going to do when I go to restring this guitar, I'm going to have my phone, and I'll probably be using my dresser, my equipment dresser, or something like that as a workbench. But I. I'm going to be doing a video on personally how I set my guitars up personally. One of the things I also need to pick up is some Deoxit, which I can have my dad pick up, because I think there's some dust and crap that's gotten into my equipment. Not my new amp, obviously, because it's perfectly fine. It's just some of the other equipment, just because I haven't used it in so long. But basically to get the dust and crap out of it, my brain will function here. The action's actually pretty good right off the bat. But that's because Guitar Center set it up before I could get to it, which is why it also sounds. I may get copyright for this, but I won't. And you can go to some of these other creators like Philip McKnight to learn more about guitar branding and stuff like that. But I was originally looking at, if I made it past basic training in AIT, I was originally looking at a Fender Edge Signature Strat, but I wound up deviating away from that because I didn't make it past basic training. That's going to be an interesting story. But furthermore on that, guitar branding, Squier is owned by Fender. Squier was originally an independent company, a lot like Epiphone was, and then I don't know when Squier got bought out, but Squier got bought out by Fender and is now owned by Fender. Excuse me. Is now owned by Fender, and they make fantastic guitars. The difference between Squire and Fender is the fact that with Squire you're going to get some more Indonesian, Chinese and Indonesian made guitars, whereas with Fender you're going to get Mexican and not that Mexican's bad. They make made in Mexico guitars, and then they also make American made, which are made in Corona, California. Um, Epiphone is a lot of the same thing. Um, China, um, and Indonesia are the major places where you're gonna find your guitars are from. Whereas with Gibson, they're gonna be more American standard. They don't have any. They don't have any shops in Mexico, to my knowledge, but I could be wrong. I don't know quite as much about Gibson as I should. So, especially with how much Trogly's Guitar Show I watch, I don't know that much about Gibson. um, this guitar, believe it or not, is very. Yeah, Fender guitars. Fender guitars, you're looking at about 400 to 1,000 plus for your typical guitars, and the more affordable ones are going to be your made in Mexico Strats, your and your lower line American made Strats, so your standards, your made in Mexicos. And of course, once you get to American made guitars, you're going to get way the heck up there in pricing. And then you get your custom shop. Your signature models are going to easily run 800 to 1,000 plus. Your custom shops are going to be 800 to 1,000 plus. But Squire, they top out at about 600 maybe, at most. That's if you find a really rare gem from Squire, or a really high end Squire. Probably about 600. Kat, if you have a chance, please correct me on that. Especially if you're sitting at like your computer. So, yes, I was originally planning on getting a Fender, but I guess in all reality, I did get a Fender because it is a Squire by Fender, which Squire it's made in. This one was made in China. This is made in China Strat. Whereas, but I still want to think that this may be like a classic vibe. Strat. Yeah, Epiphone. New Strats go for about depending on which line you get them from. Your standard Strats, and Les Pauls and Tellys and V's and stuff like that. Your standard guitars from Fender and Epiphone are going to be around from about 130, 150 to about $400 or $500. Prime example. Also, but with that, you also do kind of need to watch out with the lower end, especially if you're buying brand new, right off the shelf. That costs about $100. But there's nothing really crazy to worry about. But just that with this one's going to be project guitar anyway. That I don't know. Um, I should have set it to educational, but I didn't think about the category right off the bat. Um, so yeah, I didn't think about the category right off the bat. I should have set it to educational because that's more or less what I do on here. My stuff's more educational, unless it's like big moments, like if I'm like from when I get married or if I go to a wedding and they give me permission to do some filming and stuff like that there. Yeah, good point, babe. See, I'm still I'm still getting back into this whole YouTube thing. So yeah, I tend to be somewhat of a little bit of an elusive guy on YouTube, I guess. Now, I'll try to make myself more out there and known, but I don't know. We'll see. Everything's just kind of crazy right now. But I will try to do what I can. I'll try to do what I can to do a better video about guitar branding. But your Epiphones are going to go for your Epiphones and Squires are going to go from about 100 to 500. Epiphones are going to cost a little bit more because Gibson is kind of a pain in the butt. Put it cleanly, Gibson's kind of a pain in the butt, and they like to overprice their stuff to an extent. But they also make some really good quality guitars. I'll give them that. And some of them, their signatures, they are going to cost more. So yeah, that's just natural for that to happen. I personally don't own any signature guitars. I would love to own maybe a signature guitar in my lifetime. Not exactly my own unless there's a guitar company that wants to work with me. Which in that case, I've got some ideas in mind. Just gotta let me know. But, to each his own. Because I tend to use a little bit of an alternate tuning a lot of times compared to your normal guitar. Where a normal guitar is tuned E to E, I like to tune down a whole step. But, which on a normal, say, acoustic or Strat, tends to kind of throw tension in weird places, in weird directions. But, I feel like this is kind of a hodgepodge of everything. But I say that I seem somewhat kind of elusive is because a lot of times I do things kind of spontaneous. I don't really have a schedule of when I'm, say doing a stream about guitars, drums, or gaming, or what have you. I'm not well organized, I guess you could say. And that I do. I do. But what amp did I? Wait, I already said that I got a Vox AC10. I already said that. I did not say that it was an all tube amp, which is awesome. I love that. I love tube amps. But the most expensive thing about tube amps, unless you have to, put new capacitors and stuff like that in them. The most expensive thing is when you have to put new tubes in it. it is not time for me to put new tubes in mine yet, but when I do, I'll be sure to try to do a video about it, especially more in detail for those who own a Vox AC10 and don't really know what they're doing. That way, you guys don't feel quite as much in the dark as I don't exactly feel in the dark about it, but that's because I'm a gear guru and I like to do research on it. And actually, I was debating about getting that, getting the Vox or a Blackstar HTR1, which they were both. Actually, no, the Vox was about $100 more, $150 more. But it came down to a couple of things for me. Is first of all, which amp company do I know more about, and has been used throughout history more and is more reliable, to my knowledge, and from what I know. And two, for which amp are the tubes more readily available? Because they were both tube amps that I was looking at. And it came down to the Vox. A lot of guitar players in churches use Vox amps. The tubes are very readily available. It took me on a day when Guitar Center's not busy. It takes me about 5 minutes to go in and get the tubes, get out. Today they were pretty freaking busy, so it took me about 20-30 minutes because they had other customers to deal with. They know who I am. They know what I'm probably coming in for. That's why I let some of the others go first. That in, with what I was getting, I hadn't gotten someone to get the keys to get them out of the cabinet yet. So, with that said, but the tubes for the Vox AC10 are a pair of 12AX7s for the preamp, I believe. I believe they're 12AX7s that are in the preamp, and then the power amp is EL84s, or maybe the other way around. I don't completely know. Because all I know is that the 12AX7s are in one spot, the EL84s are in another spot. And for those that are about to ask, did you get Chinese tubes? Survey says no. The tubes that I got for the Groove tubes are made in Slovakia. And these two doesn't say where these were made. By the looks of it, it could be Britain, it could be anywhere really. Russia. I don't know, it doesn't really say. But I guess I could do a quick Google search. So let's go and consult the Googleisms. Oh crap. Um, I'm still. I'm trying to figure this out here real quick. Uh, they were an American manufacturer. So I'm going to assume that they're made somewhere here in America. Either that or I've also seen possibly Canada. Um, hello. There we go. So, sorry about that. That was a little improper. Of me to be doing Googleism, consulting the Googleisms on camera. But let's let's get some new strings um, on my Les Paul. Okay, here we go. My Les Paul. Turn the tuner on, delay off. Set this down, and the strings that I am using are D'Addario NYXL 10 to 52. And pricing, they're asking yourself, well, why do you use 10 to 52? Personally, it's because I like having that defined bottom, that defined low string. When I say defined, there are some songs, or occasionally you will see me playing in drop D. And being in drop D, let's see, E. Oh, wait, no, wrong E. So these two are going to go straight. Oh crap. Alright, well that's alright. Not really quite yet anyway. EA. These two are going to be the obvious ones as to which one is which. So, because the D string is wound, G string is plain. And when we get to the G string on these tune-o-matic style guitars, whoopsie daisy. This is where things get crazy because once we get to these plain strings, I do something a little bit backwards. I will take the plain strings. I will pull them through this way. Pull them through this way where the other ones go that way. So purple and then silver. Oh, come on, you. There we go. Let's not get all tangled up now. So purple. You're probably sitting there asking, well, why? And it's because it lessens the break angle over the saddle. When I start to play. And you're probably saying, well, why are you freaking out about the break angle over the saddle of your guitar? It's because the thinner strings get, the more likely they are to break. So to combat that, there are a couple of tricks that you can use. One of those tricks is to use either thicker strings, which for some of us is not an option because of various reasons. When the lowest tuning you're using is drop D, and that's once and about as often as you see a unicorn or Bigfoot, whichever one you see more. Or once in a blue moon, as people always say. I don't see a reason in using thick, heavy strings. It's just about the question, it's about like the question of why would you use a shotgun to kill a small spider? Or why would you use name your level of overkill. Also, the second thing is that I have somewhat of an aggressive playing style. I am somewhat aggressive when it comes to strumming. But I personally do not play music that is very aggressive. You will not, I can already tell you, you will not walk up and down the streets of Wichita and hear me playing Pantera. Because I am not, I don't mind listening to metal. I listen to it occasionally. But for the most part, I do not listen to it. Or I listen to it occasionally. But I do not. I don't play it that often. One of my favorite bands to listen to is Skillet. And you can ask my fiance. Which I assume she's still on the stream. Don't be afraid to make yourself known if you are. You still on the stream, babe? It says that there's one person watching. Who do we have in the stream? She may have fallen asleep. Oh well. And I get it. String changes aren't very entertaining. Chat. Oh, hello. Okay, there we go. Sorry, things weren't popping up in the chat for whatever reason. But yeah, ever since I've gotten back, I haven't really been much of a metal person. Yeah, I still listen to it occasionally. I've got some that I still listen to. Primarily the music that I listen to when it comes to metal is groups like Skillet, Thousand Foot Crutch. And it's because they, this G string is kind of being a pain. But, so well. Nope. Pull it down. And then believe it or not, I used to use like 9-gauge strings. So let's set this down, get this plugged in. There we go. The heck? Why is this not working? Let's try this. Someone the guitar. Oh, I bet I know. Alright. You gotta give me a sec. One of the things that I've had a problem with this guitar has been that there is a boost. Alright, there we go. So that is pretty much what's going on. Love to figure out more to talk about, to be honest. But if you guys that watch this, go back and watch this, whatever, have anything that I can do to kind of make this more interesting, down below. Please don't forget to like, rate. Sorry. Please don't forget to like, rate, and subscribe to this. Subscribe for more. I hope to be able to do some future content, maybe some breakdowns on how I, especially once my church starts using its own building, I can talk to my pastor about using, possibly starting up a YouTube channel where, especially I, as the primary electric guitarist and drummer, kind of break down how to, or how I, as a guitarist, as an electric guitarist, play some of the songs, and maybe as a beginning guitarist at your church, some methods for if you get stuck or something like that, and maybe go through some acoustic tutorials as to how our church does our how our church leads worship for the most part. And there's some things where we've got maybe one song where but maybe we'll have like one song, for instance, where we start out with a just as an example, how we lead sometimes. And then maybe, pretty much just, breaking down some of the songs, some of the songs like What a Beautiful Name, Lion and the Lamb, This is Amazing Grace, some songs like that. Some songs that we, as a church, as district church, have our CCLI numbers and stuff like that for. Because that way then, and then, and I'll talk to my pastor about this. And it's for your guys' benefit, really. Because I know that there are some churches starting up out there. And there's my Irish accent again. Dang it. But I know there's some churches out there that are just starting up, or churches that maybe have an electric guitarist that's finally getting up on stage, and I've been in that position. When I first got my Les Paul and started building a pedal board, I literally, the only two pedals I had were three pedals actually. My Les Paul, my tuner, my Carbon Copy Deluxe, and my Fangs Metal Distortion, which is in a drawer in the dresser right there. Or if I turn, you see the one that the Xbox 360 is on top of. And learning how to do all that, learning how to switch pedals, and I'll go in greater depth in another video about it, because I think it's something that people should learn about, and how it can be used not just in worship or in in rock or in some of these other genres where you use volume pedals, delay pedals, gain pedals, drive pedals, reverb, but also say if you're a high school guitarist and you play in the jazz band, you get these long held out chords, say for instance you have a pattern That sounds something like this. So, let's just set the delay. Say, for instance, you have that same chord progression. This is where using reverb and delay is very helpful. As to create that, because with a long drawn out note, you want to do something with it to make it exciting, especially in a swing jazz scenario. So doing something like so, whereas, instead of, and then you've got those rhythmic patterns where you're just make it interesting. Make it interesting. That's the big thing that I always got screamed at about. Well, I didn't necessarily get screamed at, but in middle school when I played trombone. But a lot of people know what I'm talking about, especially if you play trombone, trumpet, baritone, name your woodwind instrument or stringed instrument, is to make it interesting. You can have a passage where you can have that kind of passage, but it's kind of boring. It doesn't have a lot of flavor. It doesn't do a lot. No, I can't do that. Dang it. I was about to move to where you guys can actually see what I'm doing. But you get those long drawn out chords, notes, and of course, as well as in a jazz setting, you can take that same concept of using the delay and say if you're up here using your bridge or your neck pickup, flip to your bridge pickup if you've got a solo, and make it interesting. Use volume, use gain to create dynamic, to create tension and release, which is another reason being why we'll take the song "You Won't Let Go" by Corey Asbury, and I'm gonna keep it short. I'm just gonna use the chorus, or no, the bridge of the song to just to make sense of this, of using tension and release. So the bridge of "You Won't Let Go" is, and I'm playing it in C, and I'm capoing 5 and playing in G just to make it easy to understand and to see all this. So the bridge is you're sitting there, you're driving it, you're just. So, where I talk about tension and release is having that C in this case, but it's a G shape, and then going to D over F sharp to create that tension. And then using that E minor to resolve as well as the C. There's still some tension with that E minor, but then using the C chord to, or in this case, F is the chord name. But your C chord to release that tension. So when you've got this passage going. So, yeah, and I'm gonna go in greater depth about that in another video. So, anyway, I just realized I've been streaming for well over an hour and a half, or at least hour and 31 minutes. I'm gonna go.